Dallas, after such a long, successful professional football career, why farming? Why get into that?
Well, it was kind of one of those things that when I would come back home during the off season, and then you just kind of be around it, and you just really, like anything, as you get older, you just start seeing things, you start appreciating things, and you view things differently than you did when you grew up, and so when my grandma passed away, and it was, for whatever reason, it's written in the will for us to sell our Century Farm, a farm that's been in our name for over 100 years. And thankfully I was in the NFL and I could afford to buy it, and so bought the family farm. And it was kind of one of those things that, working with the farmer that had been cash renting it for years, just working with him and just kind of taking care of that, being a steward of that land, and kind of getting to know how things work, and just kind of that was kind of my introduction. And then obviously with Bruce Nelson as a great friend of mine, and his knowledge of everything, it just kind of, the more we talked, the more it just kind of made sense. And I'm a hobby farmer by all means. Like, this is not paying. Like, I'm not. I mean, to be a farmer these days, I mean, you gotta have a lot of land and a lot of equipment. And I'm just kind of finding my niche, and kind of custom farming, which is what's the definition of farming? I mean, you could have a garden and be a farmer. So, but yeah, so I'm kind of in the game, but it's not like I'm having a full-fledged operation or anything like the Nelsons have, or all the other farmers. But yeah, it's just something that attracted to me. I love being outside. I love manual labor. I love working, and so it's just one of those things that, as my years progressed in the NFL, playing a lot longer than I ever thought I'd play, it became more attractive.
I can only imagine, with your enthusiasm for the program and this week with Wisconsin, you've got to feel like you want to be out there practicing.
Every time you come here, I mean, it's just, there's nothing better. It's just one of those things that, running out of an NFL stadium, tunnel and all that stuff is fun, but I explain to people, like, there's a reason why everyone remembers, like, high school football, because it was like the purest form of football. It was just, you just played it because it was great, and you played it for the right reasons. And so each level you go, things get skewed because of everything. I mean, look at the building we're in. I mean, this doesn't just happen because you love the game of football. It's a business, and each level you get higher, it becomes more of a business. And so that's why everyone, even when you played and made it all the way in the NFL, you still go back to your high school days. You still go back to your college days. I mean, NFL is great, but at some point, it's it's a business, and you got to make the plays, or you get fired. So it's just, there's a little different tone to that than, hey, we get to play football today, and then go to Dairy Queen after. It's just like, there's nothing better than that. Like, that is like that. And so Iowa football is one of those moments where you just played football, and you went to school, and at the best school in the country. And so it's one of those things that you just, to go back, and any time you go back, it's just, you have all those memories, you have all those things going through your head, and you hope that you didn't take it for granted. And I think with all my trials and tribulations, if you will, prior to even stepping foot on, it made me really appreciate just the opportunity. And so I was able to really appreciate a lot of things that I don't think a normal, regular, scholarship player did. Maybe, I don't know.
Have you thought about coaching to try and impart that wisdom?
Yeah, actually, I'm done here. I'm going to do some online classes at the Iowa Central Community College. I have to get my coaching degree certificate, and so I am getting my certificate to have it. I don't have any plans of doing it, but I do enjoy being around kids. I do enjoy, my brothers and I have a football camp up in Humboldt each summer, and I tell you what, it's just enough where you just kind of get that itch of just kids. And it's a 2-day camp, and literally like what you notice from day 1 to day 2, it's like, wow, it's my oldest brother Dan is a real coach. He coaches at Illinois State, offensive line coach there, and every time I'm like, I get it. It just kind of gets that, because I always say, I'm like, I'll never be a coach. I'm a football player. Like I play the game. I love playing the game, but coaching is just a whole different level. And so, but high school, I think I could help those. You would never find me near one of those offices in college. I mean, these guys, that's way too much commitment, and the risk reward just doesn't not very good there. But that's why I appreciate and respect the heck out of these guys for them to be here for these kids.
What do you think of the way the team's playing this season?
Well, I think it's definitely up and down from kind of expectations. I think obviously coming off a season like last year, everyone's just beaming and thinking that if we lose, then it's the end of the world. And so I think everyone's kind of collectively coming to terms that we're still progressing, we're still getting better. The good thing is we have the people, we have the coaches in place to still be successful. I mean, I don't think it's been it depends what you rate at disappointing or a successful season so far. But I think I like what's going on, and I think obviously as a former player, you're always a little more optimistic than the fan, I guess. I guess I'm a fan now too, but you just have a different lens that you look through it at. You understand what these kids are going through. You understand what the coaches are going through, and you understand the little things that play here, play there. It's a whole different story. And you can look back at last year, and there's tons of plays. A ball doesn't bounce here. We're 7-5, instead of 12-0. So it's why we love the game. It's why we play. It's why we're crazy about it, because it's a play here and there that separates good from great.
George Kittle might not play this week, so a walk-on, just like you, might be starting this week. Peter Peeker, what advice would you have for him?
Stay low and head on a swivel, and because Wisconsin is playing up there. I mean, that was an eye opener. I was just young and still learning the ropes, but yeah, it's going to be a great experience, and the best part about it, and the best part about this game is opportunities, and most guys are going to get an opportunity. Guys that work hard, that just show up, that do their job, you're going to get your opportunity. The exciting thing about this game is, what do you do with your opportunity? And this is an opportunity, and you obviously don't wish any injury upon anyone, but it's a team sport. Coach Dungy always reiterated, next man up, no matter who got hurt or whatever. You just got to keep that even keel about, hey, we're a team. Next guy up, you got to do your job, and I think that's no different than whatever level you're talking about. So this is a great opportunity, and a lot of guys have had some opportunities and they've taken advantage of it, and that experience is only going to help themselves, but also help the team down the road.
How many acres do you have on your farm? What do you do, like corn, soybean rotation? Or
yeah, well, actually, the family farm that I got from my grandma was. We're just starting our first year. I'm turning it to organic farming, so organic corn, organic soybeans. So it has to be 3 years without any chemicals on it. So this year, seeded it with alfalfa and oats, and cut and baled those this fall or this summer, and so it'll be alfalfa next year, and then that third year we'll be doing corn. So got a couple years here to really kind of get me up to speed on organic farming, but it's just one of those things, like I said before to Darren, that this is kind of my niche of farming. It's kind of my hobby farming, instead of going and trying to acquire 1,000+ acres of land and then buy equipment and then now ride the roller coaster of the market. It's like, okay, I sacrificed way too many bones and bruises and things like that to go through that mental anguish, and so it's like, all right, what can I do with this farm that's been in our name for over 100 years, and just organic, it just kind of with kids, and you just kind of. You start. I'm certainly not an expert on saying, I don't stand on my soapbox and say organic is the only way, this and that, GMOs, all that stuff. I don't play that card, I guess. I just see something that I think this is going to be beneficial for people, and it gives me a way to kind of do something different and kind of go back to the 80s farming and walking beans, what I did growing up from my uncle, and doing things like that, and kind of learning the hardships of getting rid of those pesky weeds. So it's kind of like, when a safety rolls down to cover one, it's like, what do you got to do? So that's not similar, but it's just that challenge of trying to figure out a way to do your craft and to become better at it, and to become the best farmer you can be. So I'm going to enjoy the challenge. It's going to be so if you want to walk beans here in a couple of years, give me a call. Sure. $5 an hour is what I got paid growing up. I don't know what. I haven't looked up the state. I did that too. Yeah. So we don't do $100 an acre here. So.
How many acres is it?
Oh, it was 135 tillable. Yeah, for the family farm. And then we have 2 other farms up in Emmitsburg that Bruce farms for me, and so he takes care of those up there. And it's title town up there, as you know.
Right.
Not this year though. They're having a rough season.